Laurel does is we apply AI to track your digital work, and then we translate it into an automated time and billing platform for professional service firms, so lawyers, accountants, consultants. Idea being, humans used to tell machines what they did at work. We have the machine remind the human. I used to be a lawyer, and so I abhorred keeping my time. So much so that I left in 2018, long before the Overton window ChatGPT, and wanted to solve this once and for all because I thought it was ridiculous that we have to think about our time in 6-minute increments. And started in the legal vertical, which we've learned is the most difficult one to solve this problem set for. And then based on our ability to do that for lawyers, we've been able to port this workflow to accounting, consulting, and we're actually now in conversations with non-professional service firms that don't bill their time but want to understand what are people actually doing. So the turning point for the company actually had nothing to do with legal tech, but really had to do with our mission. So I left practicing law to solve this problem. And then 6 months later, my mom's brain cancer actually came back. And I was living in San Francisco at the time. I moved back to LA, moved in with her to take care of her. And for the next year and a half, my life was very straightforward and very beautiful. I would just take care of her and work. And a few weeks after we got our first venture round of funding, she passed away. And I sort of sat with this, okay, well, what did I learn? I'm building this, but I just lost all of this. And through that experience, I realized that once you appreciate time is finite, do you appreciate it is all that matters? And 1 minute with her at the end was worth 1,000,000 minutes doing anything else. And so I realized that this wasn't a timekeeping company. This was a company that looked to sanctify time. And it informs everything that we do. And I don't want any professional doing work that machines could be doing, because as humans, we are so much more valuable than the work that we're doing today. And so that really became the mission of the business and really allowed us to accomplish what we've done today. So time is a fascinating concept in that you have to first analyze the work itself, and then you have to be able to group that work together. You have to be able to understand who the work is for, the client of matter. You need to be able to absorb outside counsel guidelines and ensure a compliant description. And then you need to be able to codify the work with all of these phase task activity codes. And so obviously our AI is doing this on behalf of fee earners. But what's been really interesting is as AI is evolving, so are the data security needs of both our customers and their customers. And so making sure that we're doing all this in a way that allows law firms to take advantage of AI to make them feel that they have faith and trust in our ability to analyze the data and to make sure they're in accordance with their clients' data security needs. So we've built a lot around the InfoSec apparatus to be able to work with the AmLaw 5, the Big Four, the MBB. And so we're really proud that not only are professionals entrusting us with their most precious workflow, which is how they get paid, but also firms are entrusting us with their most precious data. What really makes Laurel stand out is we were the first company in the world to apply AI to time. And so, as I mentioned, started this business in 2018. At the time we were building AI, they called it NLP, natural language processing. And so we learned a lot about what worked, what didn't work. I actually rebuilt the platform soup to nuts when LLMs came out. I got early access to GPT-3 and quickly realized that it would cannibalize any of the NLP that we were building. And so I was able to take advantage of, frankly, a lot of mistakes that we made. I was able to take advantage of a lot of the early successes that we had, and that allowed us from first principles to build Laurel and be able to be the category winner for AI time for professional service firms. I think the biggest misconception that professionals have about technology is the incentives behind it. So I'm a big Charlie Munger, show me the incentive, I'll show you the behavior. Law firms are still primarily time and materials. About 85% of their work is T&M. And so really there's a lot of hype and excitement around AI doing legal work. But truthfully, that is the service that customers are paying these law firms to do. And so there's incentive misalignment that exists there. And so I think the piece that's not getting talked enough about is, well, if we start automating legal work at scale, we have two options. We either have to move to a fixed fee delivery model, in which case you have to understand your cost of delivery, which means that you better track your time. It's not a nice to have, it's a need to have. Or bucket two is let's focus on automating away non-billable work. Let's focus on automating all the things that your customers are not paying you to do so you can focus on the things that your customers are paying you to do. And again, no one's ever quantified business or non-billable time because there's no incentive to do that. And so Laurel has a unique advantage in that we are the first company to surface true time. What is the entire value chain that a lawyer is performing and being able to understand what's what. So I think the big evolution will be a fundamental rewiring of this trillion-dollar industry from time materials to fixed fee. I do believe AI is here to stay. I do believe that clients are going to force their law firms to weaponize with AI. And again, because of the incentive misalignment that exists in a time materials model, you're going to have to move to fixed fee. It's going to be a wild rewiring we've only ever seen in the healthcare industry, where it was a $3 trillion industry that went for fee for service to value-based care. And there was a lot of second and third order consequences of that. And the legal industry is going to have to go through the same evolution. And my strong thesis is that Laurel's time data is going to be the only way to shepherd these firms to confidently be able to fix their fees and to price on value, which will then create the right incentive alignment to adopt AI tooling at scale. The trend that legal professionals are not paying enough time to is really trying to understand, how do we educate younger lawyers in a world of AI? And is there a need for younger lawyers? And does the fundamental leverage model no longer make sense? And how does a law firm actually look like? My sort of hot take is that big organizations are dead. You're not going to need a law firm of 3,000 people anymore. You're not going to need a tech company of 300,000 people. If you already look at what Amazon and Google and Microsoft's doing in terms of reorging, they're going to slice their organizations down, probably by an order of magnitude in the next 5 years. I do believe that trend will take longer in professional service, but it will absolutely happen. And so the real question is, what does a law firm look like in the future? How many people does it actually need? And how do you train the younger generation to be the book of business moving forward? I believe that there will be a need for fewer lawyers, but those lawyers were put on this earth to paint, and their paintbrush just so happens to be the law. And their zone of genius is to be a lawyer, so they're not going to be in law because their parents asked them to or they fell into law school, but rather they are truly first principles thinkers. They're truly strategic. They truly understand business development. They truly understand relationship management. And those lawyers will actually be worth a lot more. And so people often say, it's crazy that a lawyer bills $2,000 an hour. But in a world where their marginal value is so large because they're able to outsource it so much to machines, they'll be worth $20,000 an hour, or in some cases $200,000 an hour, because the input will go down, but the output will go up. And I really believe that the creative geniuses left, those lawyers that were really put on this earth to be lawyers, are going to be so much more valuable in 5 years.